Well, hello, and welcome back. Welcome back to the grind. Here I am with the what is this? It's a Hillman, 19. Oh, that sounds good, doesn't it? 1963 Hillman Super Minx, and I've been working away at it for. I think this is episode number 3, maybe. Hey, so this week working more on floor and frames, right? Floor and frames, floor and frames. So the floor in here is in pretty good shape now. On the inside, floor over there is in pretty good shape. On the outside, back there, not so good. But that'll come. That's coming, pending. And then, so this week was mostly the floor on this side here, I think, and the frame on this side. So getting everything framed in where it was supposed to be. And I even started working on the rocker panel a little bit, like from here to here. You'll see that if you stick around. Lots of cutting, lots of welding, and yeah, cut and paste, cut and paste, cut and paste. This thing here has been a real time saver. Works very well. Whatever it is, that's what it's called. Tough Tools, half price. Eh? Anyway, it's a cutter. Cuts this stuff 12, 18 gauge, 16 gauge, cuts with no problem. And you can make some very precise cuts with it, so it's easy to fit pieces that are weird. Anyway, enough of that. The car is coming along all right. I'm happy with the progress so far. So if you stick around and see what happens, you might enjoy it. And for all those Hillman fans out there, it's nice to see one of these things come back to life. Perhaps, well, come back to semblance of life. Anyhow, we'll see. So enjoy it, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Okay, here I am back for another action-packed week on the Hillman Super Minx. Now last week I got this far with the framework. That side there's pretty good back to there. I have to build that back farther still. So right now I'm going to get this out of the way because, well, number one, this is on the wrong side of it, hanging down here. And that's the gear shift linkage. Goes up right in there somehow. And so I'm just going to cut it right about here somewhere, maybe about there. I'll cut it. So that'll be out of the way, and then cut that mount off. And then I'm going to cut it again back here close to the muffler, right about here somewhere, just after that bend. That pipe might be okay, but the muffler is suspect, and I think the tailpipe is mostly suspect. Well, this part here might be okay. Now I'll just leave that stuff on there for now until I start working at the back here. But the muffler is definitely garbage. Yeah, has a muffler holder. Oops, sorry. Has a muffler holder there. Don't know how that fell down above here. Something must be holding it. No, it's just just on there. Nothing holding it. Oh, what the hell. Okay, so I'll get that out of the way and then I'll carry on. Here I am, looking into the light. Hey, wait a second. So I cut, this is underneath that brace that the seat sits on, and it was rusty in here, so I cut that out. But before I can do anything else, I have to sort of put this piece of floor in there. So I cut this piece out. Looks like that. And it'll kind of sort of fit in there pretty good. Anyway, so I still have to, up here at this end here, I got to do some bashing and banging to make it fit right, but that'll come later. The got to put some plug well holes along that line there, and then that'll go on there, and hopefully it all works out okay. We'll see. Then I can sort of build the rest of this frame in here. Oops, sorry. Then I can build the rest of this frame in here. Like this part here has to come out to here somewhere. I've cut that off because it was rusty. And And then it bends here to here, and then it bends again down to here, and then it makes sort of a whoop-de-doo here, but it won't be the same as what it came out of the factory, I don't think, because really no idea where it went. And then down in here, all this frame stuff sort of just hooks from the floor over to the whatever you call this thing over here. This thing. Somewhere in there, this is where the emergency brake thing goes in, so I must remember that. Oh, that's just a little hoopy thing there. That's for the emergency brake. I'll get that after I take this wall off of here. Anyhow, that'll be after, and then the, I'm looking right into that light. Yeah, so this part here is for the handbrake, right? Anyway, we'll just keep on pecking away at it here. I'll get back to here for starters. Then when that's done, then I'll put the floor in here, and I'll put the floor in where you can see there's no floor. And then I'll worry about this stuff out here, which they had welded a little bit on there. Don't know what. Maybe it's welding and pop rivets, who knows? Floor is in there below anyhow. We'll work on getting this thing to come together after a while. First I want to get the framework in here, and then so the frame comes right to here, and it stops here at the butt end, I think. I'll check on this side. As far as I can tell from this side, it comes to about there, right? Can you see that? And then that's where it butts out. There used to be a piece across here. So I've got to make it so it fits kind of in there. I don't know how. Maybe it comes away from this and hooks onto this. Who knows? But I'll make a frame on the other side over here. I'll make it so it comes from here to here, here to here, and then from here to about here, and then we'll square it off at the end, and that'll be good. Maybe it'll come out a little bit past that, because that's where the curve happens on the floor there too. So that'll be more interesting stuff. Okay, well, we'll figure it out. The box in down here now. So you see it's like that on the top, and then it's got to fit into this spot here. Wait a sec till I get this lined up and I'll show you if I can. So it's got to be something like that. And that little, I don't know if you can see that black line right there is where this comes out to. So I'll get that on, and it kind of fits there okay. And then I'll make this separately. I'll get that welded in, and then I'll make this edge here separate. We'll just see how that works out. Anyhow, that's what I think I'll do. I guess I gotta fill in that hole. Forgot about that. And don't know what that was, but it's not there anymore. Must have come out when I was pounding on stuff. Anyway, that's hot, right? Anyhow, that's a rail all along there now. The way I did this outside one, this last one, just in two pieces because of the way it bends up there. It goes along and then does that, takes a dive. So now I'll just put a cap on the end of this and call that done. Fix that, put a plug, put a hole, a thing in there, whatever you call that, a patch. That just needs a patch. And so that would be, ouch, new frame all the way back to there. That's right on. That'll be solid. Then I can, now, I'll finish up this side over here. It's slightly different, but I'll make it right to here, this, where it ends right here, like it's on a curve there, but we'll live with that. Maybe I'll just Maybe I won't cap this until I get this piece on, and then cut it off to fit, make it pretty. Maybe I will cap it and don't worry about pretty. We'll see. Then I want to put another piece of metal. See, this has been hoisted on a bunch of times right here. So I'm just going to cut that chunk out and put a piece of, I'll put a piece of 16 gauge in there. And that'll make it tougher. Drill a hole so that it'll drip out water. Yeah, so it's coming together. Just takes time, lots of time. But I'm quite pleased with the frame on it now. Now, well, that part anyhow, but then you got to go to the back here. And that's a little bit suspect there, but I think it's okay above. I think this is all, yeah, that's all okay up there, just down here. And a little bit suspect there. So I'll fix that up. I gotta put new shackle on it anyhow, or clean up those shackles. Yeah, okay. Anyhow, we'll carry on. Yeah, that's enough for today. This piece here will make it fit kind of in there, right? And then I'll put an outside piece on it to fill in on the outside down to here, kind of down to here. That would be the frame for the front done, except for filling in these bits here that have to be done, which I can do tomorrow. That'll be a tomorrow thing. So anyhow, see you then. Yeah, here I am, back on the welder, back on the welding, cutting and pasting. So I'll get this piece here put in there today, I hope. Well, I'm pretty sure I will. And then I'll sort of finish it back to here. See about putting on these bits here that have to be redone. Then there's also an outrigger that'll go from here, somewhere on here, across here maybe. I think that, well, I won't worry about that until such time as I get this part here looked after. Then I'll put the outrigger to it, because it looks like it goes right to here. So that'll give me a definition of where it goes to right there. And I won't take that off of there, because that also gives me the definition of where this thing here has to sit, right along there. So, and the other side I think is, let's see, oh yeah, this is all here too. And actually that's in not in great shape, but not in bad shape, so we can live with it. We'll fix that up. Don't know why they would have been rusted out, and I don't know why that's bent, but it's how it is. So, but first I'll get these pieces rebuilt here and back here, and then I'll put the floor in. Oh, no floor. Put a floor in up there. Okay, that's, well, see how far I get today. Welded in there pretty well. Now wait, I'll just bring this light around and have a look at this side of it. Oh boy, oh boy. Can you see that light going up there anywhere near? Oh, there. Yeah. There we are. Okay, so I welded up on the inside here, and then ugly weld city, but it'll be okay. And then I'll put a piece. I think this has to be sort of trimmed back a bit. It's got to meet to there, huh? I'll just see how I do that. Don't know for sure yet, but I'll have to do something there. I'll think about that. I plug welded it up at the top here. That's hot. And then I just made a big weed. What do you call that? A large bead along here and along that, and I'll grind that down a bit because you can't get to the inside. I painted most of the inside of it, but I didn't paint the inside of that side. I let it cool down, so I'll spray some paint in there. So most everything is painted on the inside. That should help it a bit. Now I'll see about getting this piece on here, which is a brace piece, and it goes just on the bottom of that. That's amazing that thing came out to the right height. I'll be. So it gets, what does it do? It comes out here, and there should be a flange going this way, so that should be a bit longer, but I guess that's, it might make all right. Then this other piece goes on, which is onto the, so that should be cut to fit there. The same as, so I might just cut that back to fit here, and then just run a piece straight across from here to there. From here to there. That'll make a good strong structure. Except for this. So I might have to just, I'll put a piece there and I'll put another piece on, because that won't work that way. Okay. This piece here goes in right here, like that. So, and I put those little divots in it to make it fit on. See how that thing is hoopied? So the little divots fit on there, and then this will need 5 hands, right? Wait a minute till I get this up into place. Works perfectly with 2 hands, but anyhow, it'll go on something like that idea, and then I'll plug weld it to that, which that'll make it good and strong. Then I'll put the 2 sides in, because I can't do it, well, complex piece, right? Doesn't look complex, but it is, because it's curved that way and it's curved that way, and then it's straight across the bottom with that hoopy thing. So make it in 3 pieces, make my life easy. Okay, so this part here, that's cool. I just welded that in, butt welded here, and then welded it to that, because I think this is supposed to be flat, because there's a piece here that comes out like that. I want to fix that floor first. Right there. Then over on this side, this is all welded together. Welcome to the ugly welding club, but upside down welding, it's my favorite. And here we are. This one here, I decided I was trying to make a piece that would fit in there with this curve like that, and it's like that, and it's whoop, and yep. So I just cut this piece to fit, and I'll make a piece to go in here, make a piece to go in the other side, and that'll be that done. A little bit wide there, but we'll fix that up. And I didn't put any paint on the inside of that. Guess I better do that too. Even drilled some drain holes in it. That so all the way up here, right? This is the passenger side. Finish off welding along in there, I think, for most of it. Some of it back there I have to do still. This is all put together. I didn't put a cap on the end of this yet because I'm waiting to fix the floor up here first. This is all put together on this side, and I put some holes in there for drainage holes. Same thing. Drainage holes here. There's a big hole right there that came with it. And this side's all put together. I did it the same way, 3 pieces, bottom piece and the sides, because just I tried making one but couldn't get it done. Anyhow, that's all together there. So now I just have to do the same on this side here. This part here I'll just cut a bit of that away because it's not bad, and put in new. I left it there so I could line things up. This part here I've already got it cut away, so I have to manufacture new, which I'll do the same way as I did on the other side, and that'll all turn out okay, we think. Yeah, it'll all turn out alright. So that'll be a solid base to work from. I won't do this for a while, because by the time I finish getting these things done, I'll be really, really tired of upside down welding. Because I'm already tired of upside down welding, but gotta do it. Suppose I could turn the car upside down, eh? No. Okay, so now I'm gonna clean up all this rust. So I watched that Rusty Beauty's channel quite a bit, Elon, and quite enjoy his stuff. So I guess this would qualify as a Rusty. I don't know if it would qualify as a beauty, but it certainly qualifies as Rusty. So we'll see where we go with it. Anyway, that's all. I'm not going to weld anymore today. I'll just do some cleanup, and tomorrow I'll tackle this side here, and then maybe get a floor in it. And then once the floor is in, then I can start working on the rockers. Oh, and it all comes together pretty quick then. Yeah, before I throw everything away, that's all nice and clean now, eh? All that rust that comes out of it. This piece here used to be right around there. Oops, right around there. And so that shows there was sort of an outrigger. Wait a minute, right side of that rigger. There was a outrigger that went from, I think, right underneath the door here, huh? So I'm going to say that's where an outrigger goes. And I'm going to throw this piece away, because that's the only clue I got for that. And that would give it some support underneath the gas pedal, whatever side it's on. So right here, outrigger goes right across here, and then it would hook into over here. And I can see this, where it would hook into here. So maybe it was right here. Outrigger goes. So that's good, and the same on the other side. And you can sort of see where it might have hooked into right here. Over to here. So anyway, I'll put an outrigger there of some sort. And otherwise, I don't think there were any other outriggers. Then at the front, this piece here came down to here and just sort of stopped and hung there. I don't know if there was something that might have been part of the part of this business here. Yeah, this comes down to here. Can't see it very well, but that strength piece in there comes down to here, and then everything up there is okay. Well, sort of okay. Anyway, once I get this all out of here, then I'll be able to go from that. Yeah, here I am a couple of days later. The car is back up. So I'm going to go on that side today and finish the framework underneath. Then I'll start working on the floor on that side, and we'll carry on from there. But in the meantime, yesterday I was playing around with this thing, which is HBM 2280. I don't know, HZX Vogan multifunction aluminum welder. So apparently it'll do aluminum, and I've got it set up. Everything's set up. I got a roll of aluminum wire there. That's straight argon gas, but I need a what do you call it, a regulator for it. I neglected to get one when I was ordering the thing. So for that welder over there, to make it weld aluminum, you can get a spool feed for the gun, for the wand, and that will make it work. But that's $800 for the spool feed for that thing. And I did get one from Amazon, a $500 variety, and it just wasn't the right gun for that machine. Said it was, but it wasn't. So I sent it back to Amazon, and they're quite happy to take it back. This machine here, the whole machine, was $400. So, so I've got another welder, and apparently does aluminum. I've changed the inside here. I put, like, instead of the steel liner, I put a Teflon liner in there that came with it, and it seems that the aluminum comes up the tube all right without getting blocked off. So anyway, we'll try it out and see what happens. And I've seen a couple of some action online with one of these, and it seemed to weld all right. So we'll as soon as I get a regulator, I'll show you how it welds. Anyway, that's enough for that for today. We'll carry on with I also bought a new cart for it. You know, gotta have a new cart. This is kind of a short cart. That cart there is just the right, like, it's just the right height for everything. This one here a little bit low, but anyway, it'll be all right for what I want to do. Yeah, so I'll make it in 3 pieces again for this one. I cut it back to here. Whoops, where am I looking? Hey, I cut it back to here. There you go. Cut it back to here, right? That's the 3rd time I said that. Very good, Lauren. And then this piece here, I put a little bend on it right there, so it'll kind of sort of sit like that. I'll get it on there and I'll show you when it's done. Oh, excuse me. Whoa. I'm allergic to welding, maybe. Oh, well, here I am. This is all welded up. Pretty ugly, but very solid. And I'm not going to be too fussed about it because it's all underneath the car, and I'll cover it up with a good coat of rust paint all over this stuff here. Anyhow, that should hold together, and now I'll let it down. I'll start working on the floor. Good to put the wheel back on, maybe. We'll see. There. Now, do you remember when I was doing tires here the other day? I did that tire and that tire, took them off and cleaned them and put them back on the rims. And then that tire there, I thought it was not leaking, but apparently it was leaking. And when I took it apart, it was like it had got off the rim sometime. It was full of water, and that created a real rusty problem in there. So I cleaned it out with that thing there, put it all back together. It seems to be holding air all right, so we'll be happy with that. Yeah, so I took the grill off. That's been hit there or something. I don't know. It's all. Oh well, I might just have to cut that out of there and straighten it out, I guess. See how it looks here? Very nice. And then this is all bent up, so if I cut this out here, straighten it out and put it back in, it'll be fine, methinks. Yeah, and this part here is all okay. So, and up here, it's not bent up here. We don't know for sure. I don't know how to get the fender off of here. I'll work on that down the way, because that'd be good to get that fender off and then be able to, that'd be part of cutting out here anyhow. Okay, well, we'll just see how it goes. Or maybe not, I don't know where that looks like. Yeah, they've got it welded on here, this side here. I think there's 2 bits there. Right here is the seam. Anyway, we'll see about that later. That'll be coming up. I'll get the floor fixed first, then we'll carry on to the next thing. I got that tire put back on here now, so let it down and push it ahead a bit so I can see what's happening on the floor. Yeah, there I am. So I put these wheelie things underneath the wheels here to make it so I can make room here and open the door and be able to get into there and do stuff. So I'll just start cutting some floor out, or cutting some floor in, I guess is what I'm going to do. So first off, I'll vacuum that out and then I'll paint all that inside there, because that's stuff that needs to be done. Here I'm starting. This part here is flat from there to there. So I'm going to take a piece of metal, or I took a piece of metal,
and then it was squared off, and I was wondering, how do I make this so it'll fit? So I squared it off where I wanted it to be, kind of, and then I made the piece longer out to about here. Then I took, I'll show you. Oh, okay. I was actually quite pleased with this. So I took masking tape and put it across like there. Like there. And like there. Then I marked with a marker. And I marked with a marker. Well, this is square. I marked with a marker where it sat, right? So it would be like that, and like that. And then I marked where this was on the masking tape, which isn't there, but it is over here, like that. Then I cut it out. Like that. Not as easy as it looks, but it is not too tough to do. Like that. Then to pull the masking tape off, and voila, there's a template. So I just put that onto it on my markers. Well, can you see that? I put that onto it on my marking points, cut it out, and it worked. I'm surprised. Yeah, here's the first piece welded in. I've got those, what do you call those welds along there done. I'll just weld up along here. Yeah, that's welded up along there. That's welded up along there. I haven't done that little corner yet. You saw maybe I burnt through a couple of spots here, just went back on them and fixed them up a bit. So when it burns through, sometimes I have to lower the temperature on the, or lower the speed on, temperature and speed on the thing to, you know, make it so it doesn't burn through. Over here it's a little bit weaker, so I've been using it like at setting at 22 gauge. Over here I've been setting it at 18 gauge or 20 gauge. So anyway, seems to work okay. That's the first little piece in there, and that'll be then I'll fill in a little piece here, and then I'll carry on just putting a piece at a time in, because Otherwise, if I try to put a whole floor in, I'm really going to have trouble with it. So I'll just carry on. Seems that the level is correct, or fairly correct. It seems to be just flat and level across there. So maybe I lucked out there, eh? Okay, that's all for today. I'll see you again tomorrow, perhaps. Okay, here I am, back with the Hillman. And I'm back to working on this floor here. Anyway, got that piece in yesterday, and that's nice and solid. So I'll build a piece. I'm building the next piece to go in here somewhere, and see how that works out. Then I'll keep working forward. Once I get worked forward a bit, I'll work backwards a bit. But it seems to be going in and being in the right spot, so that's good. Bigger chunk. Whoops. Here we go. So I made a bigger chunk, and I filled it full of plug holes for where the frame goes, and I bent it up like this, and just by mistake it fits. What do you know, hey? Guess that's a lucky guy today. Plug welded in here. I just put this little, I don't know, can you see that thing? One of these little things, like a grinding tool, on the drill, and cleaned it out, and then I blew it out with air afterwards. And now I'll go ahead and plug weld them up, and we'll just see how that works out. That's all welded up, and all along that edge is welded up. Is there enough light there? Let me get a light. I'll get the light. Yeah, there. How's that? A little bit of light now. Anyhow, it's all welded up. Member of the Ugly Floor Welding Club. Now, just right here, I have to get behind that and give it a bit of a pounding to make it come into its right spot, and then put a little bit of a patch right in there. Then this I still have to put a hole in there, and then I have to do the front end of it. But for in-betweens, I'm going to cut this, oh, you can't see, cut this off of here, and I just went back to here for now. And that will, oh, what am I trying to say? Then I can get into the behind of that and maybe give it a bit of a pound, right? Anyhow, that's about it for the day. I'm tripping over cables here, and this thing here showed up today. Cheap Chinesium, but I made it work. Anyhow, so maybe tomorrow I'll see if I can weld some aluminum with this rig. Who knows? We'll try it out and see. But that'll be for tomorrow. So, see you then, I hope. Bye for now. Noisy thing there, right? And back on welding on the Hillman. Now this floor, like, I've got to do some patch up along this edge right here, but for the most part that floor is nice and solid. There's a little hole there to patch, and I have to put that patch in up there, but that's pretty good. So what I'm going to do now, and I've done part of, door's still closed fine, so I'm happy there. So I cut this piece off of here. Now I have to see if I can cut that piece out of there. That's like they had stuck that in, but it's only welded in with you know, spot welds about every 10 feet or so. So what I might do is put it up in the air and see if I can get that cut off there. That'll be the easiest way. That way I don't have to be crunching upside down all the time. And there's the doggy. Can you see him out there? Sleeping as usual. Now, I think I showed you the floor in there. Anyhow, this is all removed, most of the stuff. There's the original strength piece that comes down, and it's actually in not bad shape above here. So I can cut it off and weld a piece on there, and that'll be good. And it seems that this comes down here and it meets the rocker panel, and it creates its own box. And then this is in behind here. It doesn't connect across except for one cross member. I'm gonna say right about here somewhere. Maybe right there is where a cross member comes across.
right underneath this A panel, A pole, A pillar. So if I knew how to take off the fender, that's what I'd do right now. Maybe I should see if I can figure out how to take off the fender, how it's held on in there. I don't want to take the doors off, but we'll just see what it's held like. Yeah, so it appears that unibody construction back then was everything was welded. So the fenders are welded on, and then the inner fenders are welded to the outer fenders. Everything's welded. Over here there was some shady body work done. I don't know what happened here, but there was an accident. This is all crunchy, so I'll cut that out of there and straighten it out. But the down here, another one of those fine patches is put in there. Don't know. You see that? Yeah. So that's this side here is okay, no problem. This side here has got patchwork on it. I'll have a look at it from the other side. I haven't discovered that yet. And everything else just looks like well, like the above part is pretty good. This fender's been crunched, so don't know how much Bondo's in here. There's some Bondo up here. Might not have been crunched that bad, but we'll see if we can get it straightened out again. Definitely Bondo right there. But we'll see. That Bondo lasted a long time, and there's definitely Bondo right there. But I think that the fenders will stay on it because I can't see any way to get them off without taking the whole car apart, which I'm not going to do today. Well, not today. Yeah, you never know what'll happen. But for now, I'll just carry on with what I can do with the fenders on and the doors on. Okay, back up it goes. Put it about there for now. I might put it up higher after a bit. Because I'm going to finish off this side here, if I can, and then I'll tack this side. But let's have a look at this. Yeah, see, this is all some fine Bondo work there. But, well, the Bondo sticks amazingly well. Who knows how long it's been there. And then there's this patch right here. Looks like I bet you that was pushed back in and hitting the tire, so they just cut it out and put this patch in. Very poorly. I don't know. But it doesn't look like a rust hole. It looks like, yeah, somebody cut that out of there. Very poorly. Anyway, we'll fix that. And we'll fix all the rest of this stuff. Anyway, but that's later. Okay, over here, back to the side that I got to work on. I'll weld this seam here from the outside. I'll fix up this stuff here from this side, and then see if I can get that to bend up into there so that it all fits together. That'll just take some judicious pounding likely. We'll see. Okay, you can't see it because the lights. There, this stuff, see, that doesn't fit there. This stuff. Okay. Anyhow, there we go. Carry on. Piece that'll fit in there pretty well. I'll have to clean this edge up, but I've made it so that it comes over. Where is it? Yeah, in here. Over to the edge like that, and then meets in there. Then I'll have to fill in the upper part afterwards because it takes a bit of a hoop-de-doo in there. So anyway, I'll just get this part in down to here. Then I'm not really sure what goes on. There's sort of two pieces there somewhere, but I'll just make this as one piece and then make the floor hits up as another piece up here, and then this is one piece down, and then another piece will come like that. Let me see. All over the place here, eh? That's going to come down like that, but then I'll put another piece of metal onto here, plug weld it onto there, and cut straight down so it ends up right here, and then that makes a strength piece across the way, So we'll figure that out as it goes. Yeah, out of gas. Started making really poor welds. I wonder what was going on. Like right in there, and all along there. And so just, it sounds like it's getting gas through, but not enough. So time to get a new thing of gas. But anyhow, most of the floor is in and making progress. So we'll see. I'll get gas tomorrow morning and we'll see how things go from there. Anyhow, that'll be, the doggy there is just about ready to quit. And it's a little bit early to quit, but I'm quitting anyhow. Okay, see you later. Maybe tomorrow. Aluminum Welding 101. So the first bit I tried is right there. This is just on a piece of aluminum, what do they call that, quarter round or angle iron? Angle aluminum angle? What, who knows? Anyhow, first bit I tried is right there. Pretty poor, right? Pretty poor indeed. Then the second bit I tried was this right here. And I just slowed down a bit and let it go more. This is at the set. I'll show you the settings here in a minute. And this third bit got better. Now the fourth bit, I look like a pro. So that came out really nice. That's the way I'd want to see welds. So the first and up to number 3, I was on settings. I'll show you here. I've got this, what's it called? It's called a multifunction. Can you see all that? Yeah, HMB 2280 thing, right? The name of it on the side is that. Not an expensive welder. It's like $400 or something from Amazon. So this one here, it's a smart welder, so MIG SYN, I don't know what that means. Then you plug it in, it shows you how to put the cables in, right? Next is aluminum MG5 aluminum SI, I don't know what that means. Then I put it on 1.0 millimeter, which is the size of the line, size of the stuff coming out there. And then I put it on 4T. Like if you put it on 4T, I don't know what happens, it goes faster. And that's 4.8 millimeters, that's as thick as you can get it. Running on 220 volts. It has a, like you can then set your, how many millimeters you want here, right? 4.8 is about a 1/4 inch. And then it sets the settings. So there's the settings. It gives you 10 meters per minute of wire, 21 volts, 4T mixed gas, which is that gas there, 1.0 millimeters diameter and 4.8 millimeters diameter. And then this thing here, you can, I don't know what this does, but maybe I'll find out someday. Anyway, with those settings on here, came pretty nice weld. I'm happy with that weld. That looks like it's got nice adhesion to the sides and everything like that. I don't see, like, it doesn't seem to penetrate, it doesn't seem to go right through, but I'm pretty sure that if I welded both sides of something like that, it'd be good. I'm sure it'll work for the whatever you call that, for the hovercraft, which is what I mostly want to weld with this aluminum stuff. And that's, you know, so that's kind of nice. And then it'll weld right down to very small aluminum, so that's handy too. I'll do some practicing one of these days on some thin stuff. Used to have some thin stuff, don't anymore. I used it up. I'll get some more thin stuff and do some practicing. Anyhow, I'm happy with that. That's a nice weld. Like that looks like a pro did it, hey? And that's the very first time for me welding aluminum that worked. Now I was trying to weld aluminum on cast aluminum one other time, and it didn't work at all because, well, cast aluminum doesn't work very well. Anyway, that's good. I'm happy with the results of this. So, and then this thing here, when you trigger it, you want the gas to be coming up about here somewhere when you trigger it. So that's right there. It could come up a little bit higher, wouldn't hurt, but I think I had more than enough gas on that. Anyway, it'll go through lots of wire, but that's okay. Cool. So, welding aluminum is possible with a little MIG welder like that, and it's only a $400 welder. That's amazing. Costs me more in gas a year than it does to have the welder. Anyway, that'll be good for now. I'll go back to, we interrupt this program to go back to the welding the floor in. Okay. There, I'll show you a little bit of it just for kicks. So when you're welding aluminum, it says the instructions say to push forward, and they also say about 5/8 of an inch off the material. So I'll try and push forward that way. So I'm just going to go over this bit that I did poorly. There, how do you like that? So that's right in there. That's pretty hot stuff. Oops, sorry, that's right in there. Pretty hot stuff. Anyway, we'll be happy with that. Yeah, so there it's all wrapped up. Now, the difference, one of the differences in between this machine and that machine is the length of the wand. Like this one here, because it's steel line and it's got a steel liner in there, it'll reach halfway across the room. I think it's like, I don't know how many feet it is, but quite a while. And this one here is about maybe 8 feet long, maybe half the length of that one, or a bit more than half the length. But that makes it so that, and I've put a Teflon liner inside the inside there instead of the steel liner. And the machine came with that Teflon liner. It didn't come with this thing here. I had to order one of these extra. And what else didn't it come with? And the aluminum like rolls. And that aluminum that I'm using in here is, oh, what is it here? Can't really see right here. Can you read that? It's 56 something or other. Where is it? Where does it say that? Somewhere on there, right? It's all upside down, right? Oh yeah. 4043? No. I thought it was 56 something or other. Anyway. This is... I'll see what the other one is. Hang on. Used there is 4043, which is a little bit softer than this 5056 stuff. This is 0.35, and that's 0.30. So, next time I'll try it with 0.35. I think with 0.35, it'll you'll be able to weld thicker stuff. And this 53, 56, it'll push down the cable a little bit easier, but no trouble getting it to push down the cable, so I guess we're all right. Yeah, so now I cut off a piece, right down that weld, and I don't see any delineating lines there, so that seems to have welded to it. Like it seems to be adhered all right. It didn't penetrate right through or anything like that, but it sure did seems to be all one metal there. I don't think I think that's good. I think we're happy with that. Anyway, that's enough for aluminum welding today. I'll get back at steel. Yeah, it's a new day. Anyway, I was able to figure out a patch for that last little bit in there, so that's all patched up. I have to figure out this side here yet, but I just have to finish the top of that one there. But I ran out of time yesterday. I had to go and do something. I forget what I had to go and do, but must have been important because I went and did it. Anyway, So now this thing here is pretty well, the front interior is pretty well done. I'm going to go ahead and see about, after I finish this floor, I'll see about the running board stuff, and maybe we'll get that figured and started up a bit. We'll see what happens. Okay, anyhow, I'll show you what I do. Yeah, that floor is mostly in, except for right there. I haven't got that figured out yet. But I need to get this stuff out of the way. And actually I think what I'll do is just cut that off. Cut that off right about here. Where am I pointing now? Right about here. And then I'll weld that back on there, because there's nothing wrong with that piece. But if I cut it off, then I can get into underneath there and get all that stuff, underneath stuff looked after. So that would be a good thing to do. I'll put a scribe mark on there and cut it off in a nice straight line. Then I'll be able to just put it right back in the same place. We'll just see. If not, I'll make a new piece for it. Anyway, we'll just see. The piece, cut it off out of there. And then it had a cross piece coming across somehow here. I think that's at the bottom of this plate that comes down here. So we'll see if I can get that sort of built in there somehow or other. Hard to say. Yeah, I guess so. And then it's got this to let the water drain out of it in a hole there. But that's all in pretty good shape in there. But I'll cut that off here. And then that'll give me access to that one. So, well, there's 3 layers in there that I have to figure it out. How does this all go together? So this part here, this is the inside strength piece that comes down to here. It would come down to just below that line right there. And then this outer piece will come down and meet it and be like put plug welds. So I want to make this so I can bring it down and then make plug weld holes on that, and put this to the outside onto it and plug weld from the inside out. I think that'll work. But I got to get it all down to just this right level about here, about that level there. So I'll cut a piece and see if I can figure it out. So I'm going to just start from right here, going back for now, because that's, and then this part here I'm going to worry about later, because I got to kind of take this stuff here apart to make it all work on. I guess I'll be cutting that along there somewhere maybe. We'll just see. It's all like this good metal out there, just a little bit weak in spots, right? Okay. Anyway, then the inner fender, I might just like see if I can, if I cut this off of here, then I can likely fix the inner fender so that it's suitable. We'll just see. Starters of a running board here, fairly warm. And so I just welded it along to the edges up here, like that. And then the line of holes is pretty level. So what I'll do is I'll make this piece here, and then I'll make the rest of the car fit to it, because that's kind of where I've decided now that's how deep this will come down, and then make a flange. Then this will come down, and I'll cut that off here a little bit high, and then that'll make everything look okay. And this will make, like, I can adjust this piece here just by cutting some out of that, make it up like that high, so that it all fits together nicely and looks good. It won't be exactly the same, being going to be a 1/4 inch shorter than factory, but if you don't tell anybody, I won't tell anybody, and we'll be happy with it. Okay, I think that's all for today anyhow, and I'll try again tomorrow. Okay, here I am, another day, new day. Didn't get much done this week because it's been busy doing other stuff. But this is, I don't know if I showed you that, but that's in there, eh? Now I'll put another piece to go along back here. Like, it'll be a bit deeper because it has to match up there, and this part here was more rusted, so it's got to be a piece that goes right up to the top, pretty near there. Don't know how I'm going to get in there and get it cut out. And then back here, this will be like a custom thing back here. I'll cut this I'll cut that out because that's just that tin stuff those guys put in. Then I'll make my own height that I like, because I think that's a bit low. I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna make it that height right there all the way along and make it meet to here. So that'll be first thing to do is the inner thing, and then I'll worry about the outer thing. But once I cut this out of here, I really should address this part. This thing here is what holds, like a holder for the handbrake. So I can just put a little bit of a patch in right there, and take this stuff out of here and see if I can make it. Not really sure how that happens, but make a little hoopy thing for that, for the cable to go through. Maybe I'll put the cable up into place there and then figure it out. Okay, then this, like there's a piece that comes across. I don't know what it does. Or there used to be a piece that came across right here. Can you see that? What am I doing? Don't know what it is, where it goes to, but looks like it comes maybe to the bottom of this too, and it closes that in, boxes that all in. Does it? I don't know. Should there be a piece going across from here to there? Doesn't really look like it. Let's check the other side. See what's over here. There's not many clues on this car left over, is there? Yeah, no clues at all. But it looks like that likely was boxed in at one time. Yeah, right from here over to here would have been boxed in. So this part here is not there. No, I don't think so. That's just the inner fender. It comes down, stops here. So no. Don't know. Can't really say. But it must have been down here somewhere. Yeah, this part. Don't know. Maybe I'll just guess, right? That needs to be repaired. Right there. But that's, not structure. Yeah, it is. Oh, who knows? Anyway, that's this whole door thing that has to be rebuilt. Well, maybe I should take a look at that before I do anything else. Let's have a look at the other side. Hey. Would it be easier just to cut all that stuff out of there and rebuild what needs rebuilding at the back here? What I think I'll do, I think I'll build it back to about here for the, well, maybe right to about this one for that strength piece. Then I can maybe box it in from here to here. And if I did that, then that would add strength to the whole thing, and I could not worry about cutting this and losing the structure of the car. Maybe that's likely a good idea. Okay, I'll box in what I can here for this whole sill, and then I'll build that up afterwards. Well, maybe. Who knows? I went after this with the, had to wait for a while for the air compressor to quit. But I went after this with the needle scaler because I got that all put in okay, and then it started blowing out here. So what did I do? Right here there's a bad spot. Here's bad, here's bad. Likely bad in between. It seems to be pretty solid in here, but just, should I take just a little bit here and replace that? The underneath is actually okay. So maybe I will just cut that out here, like that. This part here, see the hole in here, you can't really see it, but that's, yeah, before the floor pan, so it's got to be cut out and put a new piece in there. Then I think all I can do is take it back to this far, box it into about here, and then worry about that bit after. Once I get this boxed in, then that'll give it a lot of strength. So first I have to build the little thing for the, fix this, number 1, this number 2, this one here, number 3, and then build the little like it's a tube that kind of comes out here. That's why this was rusted, was because this, like, the tube was catching water and holding it and blah blah blah. Anyway, so now I'll go ahead. Everything up there is good. That needs attention right there. It's not too bad. This one here I'll cut out a little thing and put a patch in there. Down in this bottom corner needs a bit of a weld. Not too bad though. Maybe I ought to just, you know, fill that with weld. That way I don't have to get into construction there. Yeah, a couple of spots, but it's not too, well, yeah, it's likely. We'll see. Maybe I'll just cut a piece here, put a piece right in here. This thing here, maybe I'll just cut a piece from here, go back to there, do that whole thing, right? That would look better. Then I'll just put a little patch here. That'll be good. Okay, well, then I'll fix up this stuff here too while I'm at it. And this stuff here while I'm at it. Lots of fixing up. Yeah, there now. I intended, this is where the emergency or the handbrake goes in. And I intended to have this tube done on the outside of it. But then when I started working on this, it was pretty weak. So I cut out this part first. Yeah, then I tried. Then I just started blowing through here. So I figured, well, I'll cut out that part. Then I took the needle scaler to it. And I found this part here was bad. And a little bit here. So I fixed them up. There's pinhole there, pinhole there. I'll get them later. And then underneath here, that was needing welding. It still has some pinholes. Oh boy, oh boy. So this bit of floor here, I'll get that welded from the inside later. But right now I'm gonna, well, that's enough for today. In fact, enough for this week. But what did I do? I don't know. Lots of cutting and welding. I got this side of the floor done, right? A little bit of work right here. How do I join that right there? I don't know. I'll figure that out. But most of it's all in. And then I put this strength piece down in here that the rocker arm will come down and connect to that. And then I can start, once I get it from here to the end, which I'm working on. As I go farther back, I find that I have to, you know, do some, like this is all rotted out, so I have to do some repairs there before I can put the strength piece in, you know, one bit at a time. And then I'm not really sure what happens, but I think there used to be a piece of metal that went across here that joined onto the rocker arm, and I'm not sure how to do that yet, but it'll likely become apparent as time goes by, or, well, who knows. Like that used to be like that, hey? Oh, sorry, that used to be like that. And it would have come across to this right here, which was down here. Anyhow, but I'll cut this later, I'll cut this out, but this stuff here, I'll figure that out before I go too much farther. But I think the first goal will be to get this piece on here with, for the emergency brake cable to come through, handbrake cable. When that's done, I'll bring this back to about here, box this in from here forward so that I have strength in the car, and then I'll start tackling this because I don't want to cut any of this stuff out until I've got some strength up here. That way I'll avoid having a bendy car, right? Which, if you all remember with the TR7, that was bad news, but that was a commercial, or a convertible, not a commercial. Anyhow, that's it for today and for the week. So, yeah, we'll keep on working on it, and lots of welding to go. Seems to be like oh well, I picked a very good project here. Okay, so I'll see you next time, and we'll see you. Make sure you do the old, what do you call that? Like it and subscribe to it and all that kind of stuff, and that's good for the channel. Bye for now. Yep, here it is. August 16, 2024. And nice, lovely day today. Not too hot. And no big humidity. Mind you, it's pretty early in the morning, so it's only 9 o'clock. Well, we'll see how things are here. Yeah, pond's pretty empty. And Buster is showing the way. The big pink is just showing his head up above there. And the beach is empty. High tide. High-ish tide. I think it's on the way out. Who knows? Nice smooth day on the water today. Yeah, there you go. Hey.